Hey everyone, Kayla here with Can You Sign My Yearbook? And I have a city that's near and dear to my heart for you today, San Francisco, California. This is a 1925 yearbook from San Francisco. I have a lot of really cool facts for you today about San Francisco. It's such an interesting place. So I am actually from Sacramento originally, Sacramento, California. So San Francisco is very near and dear to my heart. I do live in San Diego now, but San Francisco is like one of my truest loves. I love that place so much, so I'm excited to show you guys this really cool yearbook. Got a really cool, interesting facts for you, so let's get started, shall we? And besides, I've had a lot of requests for the Bay Area. So this is Lowell High School in San Francisco. So 1925. If you haven't noticed, their theme is red and white. It's like written on all pages. So here we go. San Francisco is such a cool place. It's got a lot of really great history. I mean, I'm sure you guys have heard of the Gold Rush. This guy looks like he's straight out of the Gold Rush, not gonna lie. So this school was established in 1856 as a Union grammar school. In 1894, the school was renamed in honor of the poet James Russell Lowell. Apparently, a member of the school board really liked that poet, so they named the school after him. That's really beautiful, isn't it? I love the 20s aesthetic. Senior class officers, and then class history over here. The hair parted down the middle, I love it so much. So the current president is Calvin Coolidge. Look at that. Wow. Let's zoom in on these photos. Boop. Wow. Just really takes you back in time, doesn't it? Sorry if that was too fast. Let me go back up. This yearbook is in such good shape, it's kind of crazy. So this is one of my favorite looks for the men, the round glasses. I just love that. And I love when I see men wearing it like now, like today. All right. So if this yearbook is giving you all the Great Gatsby vibes, I mean, that's not a coincidence. Not only is this the 20s, but The Great Gatsby was published this year, 1925. He looks like he's about to start law school. I love it. Here are their names, by the way. I hope I showed them on the last pages. A lot of these kids will have been the descendants of people who came over during the Gold Rush, which we will talk about a little bit. Well, a lot of it, kind of. It's really interesting. I was reading about the Gold Rush, and I was just like, wow, like I didn't know any of this. So the Gold Rush was in 1849. And it brought a lot of treasure seekers, aka 49ers. So that's where the name comes from. The football team, the name 49ers, when you think of, you know, the people who are digging for gold. This is kind of a lengthy yearbook, so this is going to be a long one, just in case you were wondering. But I promise you will not regret the time spent, because it is so beautiful. It's so interesting to see what people used to look like, right? I mean, I know that's why a lot of you are here. Oh, what a handsome man. So let's get back to the Gold Rush. So 1849, the population went from 1,800 people in San Francisco to 25,000, roughly 1,800 to roughly 25,000. Because, I mean, who knows how accurate those numbers are. But yes, the people heard about the gold rush, California gold rush, and people literally rushed to be part of it because they wanted to get in on that sweet, sweet gold action. Wow, look at that hair. It must have taken a lot of work. So there were so many people arriving in San Francisco Harbor that they were like jumping ship. You know, that they came by ship, San Francisco Harbor, and they would just abandon their ships to live in San Francisco. So there were like 500 abandoned ships sitting in the harbor. Can you imagine? And I mean, obviously they can't have 500 ships sitting in the harbor. They eventually ended up expanding the harbor. However, some of those ships were used as like saloons, hotels, different things. Like they didn't have enough space to house all these people. Everything was just developing. Saloons. I don't know about brothels, but I assume probably that too. And then some of them were just left to rot and then just eventually sunk because there were too many. That is so funny. Look at that. Senior cartoon. And I love seeing the girls with this. Oh, and she has her lipstick on like super flapper girl style. Let's see if you can see it. Like just, you know, the I don't know, like Betty Boop looking lips, you know what I mean? You can hardly see it. You can hardly tell because, you know, it's black and white, but let me go over here and show you this cartoon also. Before we go any further, guys, be sure to like, subscribe, comment down below where you're joining from. Helps the algorithm, helps this channel so we can do more of this kind of content, you know? I like to bring it to you all the time. If we can get monetized, that would just be incredible. And you guys have been so great. The channel is growing really rapidly. I'm not unfamiliar. Low seniors, what does that mean? Anyways, I'm not unfamiliar with the growth of YouTube channels and TikToks. Actually, I'm quite familiar because I do have a successful YouTube channel already and a very successful TikTok. Well, you know, fairly anyway. And so I do know what it takes to get those things going. And I just have to say, like, you guys are so amazing. You guys love this stuff and it gets me so excited to create more content for you. Like, I wish I could just create content like in my sleep and all day long because when you guys get excited, I get excited. And this channel is growing so quickly, it blows my mind. Look at this picture. That is so funny. So anyways, what I'm trying to say is thank you guys so much. You rock. You're awesome. And I really appreciate you. And I think we'll be monetized very soon. Low juniors. I think these are actually low, meaning like, I don't know, the best ones. Yeah, that's what it looks like. That's what it says down here. Interesting. It sounds bad, doesn't it? Sophomores, freshman class, and activities. I love when we get into the activities. It's so exciting. And I love seeing the girls' basketball team. That's like my favorite thing. And the glee club, because they're always like, these very early years, they're always like playing banjos and stuff, which I love. Like that's, wow. Wow, look at them. Oh my gosh, I have to push in on these. Wow. So this are the student body officers. These guys, not this guy. That's the principal. This is Edward Lees and Lauren Franchi. I'm gonna mess that up and someone's gonna get mad at me, but I will show you down below how it's spelled. I'll show these boys too. So dapper. Here we go. See, that's what I'm talking about. Don't get mad at me. Student body officers. First of all, I love that Elizabeth is the vice president and not the secretary, because actually Stephen here, down here, this guy is the secretary, because usually it's the ladies that are secretary and they're not like vice presidents at these times. So I like that. Here's the names down here. And this guy's the business manager. What is that? Oh, look, he signed it. And he signed it too. All right, here we have the Board of Educators. Look at that. When I do my TikToks, if you guys follow me on TikTok, I have a lot of people that are like, oh, I guess smiling wasn't invented. And you're exactly right. Nobody smiles in these. Oh, I spoke too soon. Okay, Stanley, prove me wrong, sir. A rally committee. Oh, I love that. Scroll and L Service Society. So I'll just show you these photos real quick, although we have looked at these students already, but their specialty for these. Shield and L. And I'll give you a few moments to read this. Let me straighten this out for you. So in 1850, after, 1 year of the gold rush, we decided, as we do, that the San Francisco no longer belonged to Mexico and it was now ours. So we decided to make it a state. So it became a state in 1850. And if you're wondering, like if you've been to San Francisco, if you're wondering why you smell Ghirardelli everywhere and it smells so good, oh my goodness. If you haven't been to San Francisco, let me just tell you, the smell of Ghirardelli is everywhere. Ghirardelli chocolates, that is, if you're unfamiliar with what I'm talking about. But Ghirardelli was actually they started production of chocolate like around this time in San Francisco. And that's why there are so many Ghirardellis, like big old Ghirardellis down there. And it smells so good. Like the chocolate making. Oh my gosh, I would kill. Not literally. Okay, you guys. To go to San Francisco and go to Ghirardelli right now. Like, oh, that sounds amazing. Just having a hot chocolate or something. Book room committee. The refreshment committee. I'm pleasantly surprised they're not all women. So things that started popping up around this time. Levi's jeans. And these are all in San Francisco, by the way. Levi's jeans, Ghirardelli, like we talked about already. Here, let me show you this. Edward Lees, we showed him before. This is the editorial staff of the yearbook. The railroads started popping up. Lots of banks, Wells Fargo to be included. Cable cars. Chinatown, which is my favorite place to go in San Francisco. Chinatown is a must. Chinatown, San Francisco is so cool. So awesome. But I also love the Tonga room. I feel like a lot of people don't know about the Tonga room. If you're planning a trip, which you probably aren't right now, Tonga room, look it up. As a lover of, if you like tiki bars, that would be for you. I mean, you know, I like to pin up stuff, so I definitely like to get all dolled up and go to the Tonga room. And what is the name? I know somebody is watching from San Francisco. Golden Gate Bakery. They are in Chinatown, I believe, if I'm remembering correctly. Correct me if I'm wrong. But they have the best egg tarts you will ever have in your life. They're so good. They're to die for. You go there, you gotta get a dozen, and you're gonna be waiting in line. I love San Francisco. Wow, this is making me miss San Francisco so much. It's just, San Francisco has so much charm. All right, moving on to drama. So speaking of drama, you know, San Francisco has a lot of earthquakes. Well, California, we have a lot of earthquakes in general. In 1906, San Francisco had a massive earthquake. It destroyed buildings and gas lines, just desolated San Francisco, and it left 400,000 people homeless. Just massive earthquake. Oh boy. I'm sorry, I didn't see this before. It looks like down below we have some blackface. I'm just gonna show you quickly and then we're gonna move on, okay? But I just wanted to warn you. All right, let's move right along. Okay, ROTC. Alrighty. Their uniforms are so neat. Here we go, a little up closer of the boys. It's so interesting to see these photos. I mean, ROTC, they look really well, like, put together for just like a high school ROTC, you know? Not that ours isn't now, but it looks so like they're ready, you know? They're ready for the military. They're really well trained. It just reminds me a lot of boot camp, when I was in boot camp. Fun fact, the Bank of America, if you've ever heard of it, was originally called the Bank of Italy. It was established by an Italian man. His name was Amedeo Gianni. I hope I said that correctly. And he didn't have a lot of success. Nobody wanted to bank with him. So he changed his name to Bank of America from Bank of Italy. And now it's one of the biggest banks. I mean, everyone knows Bank of America in the US. And so he had great success after that. Isn't that funny? Just a name change. What a name change can do for the success of your company. Girls debate team. Oh, beautiful ladies. Love your hair. Love your outfits. Gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. San Francisco is such a cool place. If you guys haven't visited San Francisco, it's got to be on your bucket list. The Bay Area in general, I really love, but San Francisco is just, I don't know. I love it so much. Now these are really hard to see, so sorry if you can't see them, but I just wanted to zoom in a little bit. Looks like their football team here. We have some autographs as well, which is cool. Looks like they have helmets, which is good. Helmets were, I think, developed in 1920. Before that, they didn't have any, and at this time they're leather, so they're not great, but they're better than nothing. That's hard to even say. Honestly, they're not much better than nothing. Leather helmets. The orchestra. Fun fact, I used to play the flute in junior high, so I didn't do too much of the music thing, but I did do choir later. Always loved music. But the one instrument that I wish I had learned, I mean, there's a lot of them, to be honest. See? A banjo. What did I tell you? I told you there'd be a banjo. I wasn't kidding you guys. The one instrument that I would love to learn, if I could only choose one, is the harp. I always wanted to learn how to play the harp. I just thought it was such a beautiful sound. And the men and women who play the harp just look so graceful doing it. This is the poster staff, by the way. Look at this teacher, just like staring at the student. It's like, I don't love it. Gatsby vibes. How are you guys doing this week? California, we shut down a lot of things. So if you're joining from California, I'm sorry if you've had a rough week. Hoping this helps a little bit. Boys Glee Club. There's not a picture of the Glee Club for some reason. People are always so fascinated by the Glee Club. And I am too, to be honest. I mean, I didn't know until I started doing this that their Glee Clubs went back so far. By the way, as I mentioned before, I do have another YouTube channel. If you guys are really wanting to check it out, the content is nothing like this. I had to make a completely different channel for my yearbooks because it was just, there's no way I could have incorporated it in my other channel, because my other channel is just, it's about me and travel and my family and like shopping. So if you're into that kind of thing, it's called Travel Memoirs and Organized Roots. I think those are the cheerleaders. Let me zoom in. But I will link it down below so you guys can check it out if you really like. If things don't close, I might be heading to Florida soon. I mean, it's all up in the air, but I might be going to Florida soon. I might be going to live stream at Disney World. So if you guys want to just kind of see what it looks like and have a vacation from home, you guys can join me on that channel too. But that channel is not about history. It's not about anything this channel is about at all. Not relaxing, you know, it's just me having fun. Actually, I'm very high energy. I'm very kind of loud, and I know that might be a little bit shocking for some people because I'm so like soft-spoken on this channel, but I want this channel to be relaxing. It's not about me. It's about history. It's about these yearbooks, about these people, you know? So my intention is completely given to that. These are such cool photos of the football boys. They should do photos like this still. We're getting close to the end. This was a big yearbook. So something really interesting about San Francisco. So the stock market crash, the Great Depression, 1929, was coming up. Not one San Francisco bank failed. They were all fine. And because of that, San Francisco's economy just kept going forward. And around that time, that's when Alcatraz was built. So if you're familiar with Alcatraz, maximum security prison, they built the Golden Gate Bridge. They built the railroads. They built the Stockton Street Tunnel, reservoir. They flourished during the Great Depression. Football committee. And I did not know that. The coaches here. Sorry it's a little bumpy, you guys. I'm working on getting some different equipment to hold, arms to hold my phone. If you have any suggestions, I would be very grateful. Something that can hold my phone while I look through these yearbooks, because I was originally doing it. I mean, all channels evolve, you know. But I was originally holding my phone and flipping through the pages, and that did not work well. And then I found this arm, but there has to be a better way because it's just a little bit shaky. £110 soccer team. Look at this soccer boys. And basketball team. So Alcatraz used to be a military base or a stockade. And then they turned it into a prison around the time of the Great Depression, and a maximum security prison, obviously. If you've ever seen Alcatraz. I've actually never been to Alcatraz. Of the hundreds of times I've been to San Francisco, I've never been to Alcatraz. There's so many things to do in San Francisco, and it's always such a long way, and I get seasick, which is ironic because I'm a prior Navy. But I do get really bad seasick, and I dread that trip over to Alcatraz Island because, man, those waters are oftentimes so choppy. I just don't think it would be a good day for me. So I've never gone over to Alcatraz. However, I mean, that place is stupid haunted, if you believe in that sort of thing. If you're there at night, I'm sure you're going to believe it because, man, that place is scary. But anyways, what I was going to say about Alcatraz is that Al Capone was one of the prisoners at Alcatraz. I guess they didn't want him escaping. They were like, no, sir. We're going to make sure you can't go nowhere. Senior records, just give you a few minutes on each, a few seconds on each page. You guys can pause them. We got some beautiful autographs over here. December 23rd, December 26th. Appreciation. And we're going to go to the ads, which, look at this. Vocation for high school girls. Telephone operating. Look at that. That is so neat. Let me bring it up close so you can see. It's like the old school, plug it into the wall, plug it into here. You know, so rad. I love seeing the ads. The ads are a real glimpse for me into what was going on at the time. Look, Blue Ribbon ice cream. Did you know that Blue Ribbon ice cream was that old? Eat Acme ice cream. Why is everything called Acme? Have you ever noticed that? Everything. What's that about? Fireproof. So much of one, blah, 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 blah. Fire insurance. Snappy sportswear. Oh, look at those cool wingtips. Wow. Classifieds, if you want to call any of these. 100 Cent. 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 100 Cent Oh, a nursing school. This was such a cool yearbook. I'm so glad. If you guys have like made it to this point, let me know. And also let me know what you want to see next. I mean, I know a lot of people want to see the 1800s. I got to do a little bit of research on that, so I will be getting that up very soon. Chase Company of California. Oh, I thought it was like Chase Bank. But yeah, let me know what you'd like to see. If I have it, I will do it. The San Francisco Bank. Look at that cool car. Man. Wow. I love old cars. Some of my favorite things. But I love old everything. I love vintage everything. I mean, I think you guys know this about me. By the way, I don't just collect vintage yearbooks. I also collect vintage literally anything. Just like whatever I find. I do a lot. People ask me all the time. I do a lot of the swap meet. We have tons of swap meets here. Sometimes I'll go to 4 swap meets in a day just to find cool things like hats and yearbooks and all different kinds of things. And you can find them for a great price, especially if people don't really know what they have, or they just want to, like, they have so much Wells Fargo Bank and Union Trust Company, like that. And they just have like a whole bunch of stuff they need to get through. Oh, look at that. Hats, $5. Oh, $5, $3.50. Caps, $2.50, $1.50. Save $1, save $1.50. That is so neat. Poison oak extract. That's neat. All right, you guys, that is it. I hope you guys enjoyed this yearbook. I really enjoyed this yearbook. Please be sure, if you haven't done it already, to like, subscribe, ring the notification bell so you can get notified every time I do an upload, and drop in the comment section below what you want to see next. Until next time, you guys, maybe in a couple days, I will see you, and have a good day. Bye.